This next video covers creating data from graphics so that we can use it to add information from our scanned soils map. For this lab, you'll be creating at least two layers, a line layer and a polygon layer. The line layer will be comprised of your streams and roads. The polygon layer will be comprised of your soil polygons. The easiest way to do this is having your drawing toolbar. If this is not loaded already, again, you can right-click in your gray area, left-click on Draw. That'll add this toolbar, and it may be located somewhere on your screen. And we're going to use our graphic tool down here. By default, it's set to rectangle. But first, I want to create a line layer. So I'm going to come up here to Line, and I'm going to come over to my map, and I'm going to digitize one of the lines, or I'm going to trace one of the existing lines. So I may have to zoom in so I can see it a little bit better. Again, the closer you're zoomed in on your map, the better resolution you're going to have. We're not going to need our section, township, and range right now, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off so I can see my full map. And I'm going to, just to get the layer started, I'm going to come in here and digitize in or trace highway double E. I can see this is double E. This is my highway symbol. Go back down here to my line, and to activate that tool, I'm just going to start at the edge of my map, left click to start drawing. Wherever I want to put a bend in my line, we'll left click. I want to try and make it as smooth as possible, so I've got several clicks coming on here to kind of smooth out my line. I don't want it real jaggedy. I want to intersect highway W. I'm going to double click to end my line. And as you can see, we have, by default it's black, so it's hard to see, but we have a graphic, and it's highlighted here with this blue dash symbol. Now I want to convert that graphic to a feature class. For now, a shapefile is fine. So I'm going to go down to my drawing toolbar and select Convert Graphics to Features. And I want to save this shapefile somewhere on my Joshua drive, somewhere where I know I can get to it. I'm going to have to save it in this video on my external, because I'm not on the Drury system right now. But I want to hit I want to hit this Browse button. I'm going to leave all these defaults the same. It's a line graphic. I'm using the selected graphic and the data frame source. And I want the output shapefile or feature class. This is where I'm going to navigate to where the new shapefile is going to be stored. So I'm going to click on that button, and I will go down to my Joshua 2 drive maybe, and so that your path isn't going to be exactly like what's in this video. Go to Data, Shapefiles. You'll look for your own personal directory. Just like put it someplace that you know where it's at and you can get to it. And then I'm going to call this maybe Panel 6A Lines. I'll say Save. And I want to check mark Automatically Delete Graphic After Conversion. Check that. Say OK. Do you want to add the exported data to the map as a layer? Yes. So I now have a new layer. I want to change symbology so it stands out a little bit. Make it a little bit thicker and make this one red. Say OK. And then turn it on. Now I have a layer that I can start editing, and I can add data to it. But before I do that, I want to do the same thing for my polygon. I'm going to zoom out, back out to my extent. I'll grab, on my drawing toolbar again, I want to grab my polygon tool. And it's best practice if you're doing like a large section we have like in front of us. As you can see, it starts off almost like a big rectangle. It's best to start at the largest geography that you have and work down. So we're going to start with a big rectangle and basically cut out all these smaller polygons. That's going to be your easiest way to get this data in. So I'm going to create a large polygon area. I'm just going to digitize around my corners here. So I'm going to left click to start. Come over here to this corner You can see it's drawing a polygon. Try and get as close to that edge as possible. And then double click in my polygon. And there's my large rectangle that we're going to, in the next step, start cutting and dividing out into all those little smaller polygons. Again, we go down to drawing, convert graphics to features, polygon is selected, data frame, and this one I'm going to call it Panel 6A Polygons, or you could say Soils. Since Soils is the only polygon layer I'm going to say Soils on this one. Hit save, delete my graphic automatically, say OK, again say yes, and I want to make this hollow because I want to be able to see through it. So I'm going to take out the fill color and make it a color that I can, distinguish between the black and white. I'll maybe make this one purple for my outline color, and say OK, and turn it on. Okay, so we now have our two data layers that we can start now editing and adding information to. Again, our line layer, we're going to be adding our soil or our roads and any streams that we have. And our polygon, we're going to be cutting out all these individual polygon boundaries to create our soils classes. So we'll first start on how to edit. The easiest way to edit is to right click on the layer that you're wanting to start adding data to, or manipulating your data. Right click, go down to Edit Features, Start Editing. And since these are both shapefiles in the same folder, we're going to be able to work on both of them at the same time without having to start editing and stop editing. So we can just select back and forth. I'm going to move my editor toolbar kind of up here, out of the way. And I'm going to just do one more line here. I'm going to go ahead and do, we'll do a stream line coming in. We'll do this northern stream line. I'll zoom in on that. Okay, so I'm going to click on where it says Panel 6A underscore lines and has that red line. You can see construction tools pop up. I'm going to click on my line, and I come over here and start at the very corner and just left click, and again just start left clicking wherever I want that line to be end. And I'm just going to trace this stream center line. And again, you can only go to the extent of your panel. And then double click at the end. Alrighty. And now I want to attribute this line, so I can symbolize by streams and roads. So I need to add my attribute window. So that's this little guy here. I'll click on that. And by default, whenever you convert from graphics to features, it adds a field called name. This one I'm just going to call stream. Hit enter. And now I want to use my edit tool, and I will select that road that I just added, that I'd added in previously. And the polygon panel is also selected, so we got to make sure we don't attribute that. So I want to go up to my lines, Panel 6A lines, click on that record there. You saw it flash, and I'll call that road. Hit enter. So I want to then go up to Editor menu, click Save Edits. Okay. As you can see here on our editing, I guess, table of contents or window that we have, we've got two tabs at the bottom that we can toggle between. We can create features, and then we can update the attributes. And I also want to symbolize my lines based on the attributes I just added. So I'm going to go to my layer properties and go to Symbology tab, and I want to symbolize by my name field, say add all values. And it's important that you spell, whenever you attribute a new object that you add in, you spell it the same way, or else it's not going to show up. So I'm going to my roads, I'm going to make those maybe a red, a 2, and my streams, double click on that line, make those a blue, and a 2, and say OK. I'm going to leave this all other values kind of that light pink, that way I can see if I've missed attributing something or I've attributed it incorrectly, and say OK. I'm going to clear my selection. So now see our roads are in red and our streams are in blue. Okay, so that's how we add lines, our streams and our roads. Now we want to focus on how to divide up our large soils polygon into all these individual ones. You'll probably want to do one layer at a time. Now go through and add all your streams and your roads in first, and then go through and attribute your soils. But for this video, we're just going to do a little bit at a time. Okay, so now to actually divide or cut our polygon into all these little individual small polygons, I want to select it. It must be selected. So I'll click there inside of it, and you can see it turns blue. I want to go down to my Create Features. Make sure it's set to my Panel 6 Soils. I want to click on that guy, and that, as you know, is changed to polygons. When I was on here, it was lines. I want polygons. This is setting up our environment, telling the system, hey, we're going to edit our soils layer. And to actually, to select it, you must use this edit tool. That's what we use to select it. And then we're going to use this cut polygon tool to actually come in here and follow these lines to cut out those sections. So I'm going to grab my cut polygon tool, and I'm going to start with this little section up here. And I always start outside of my selected polygon, cross the boundary, and then finish outside my polygon. You see I'm on the outside of this selected polygon, and I'm going to double click. You can see it divided it up. I can then go to my attributes, and you can cut out all these and then go back and attribute if you want to, or you can attribute it as you're cutting them up. For this case, I'm going to go to my attributes, and I've got 2 selected. I've got my big one and my little one I just created. Clicking on my little one, I'm just going to put the soil code value in my name field. So it's going to be 42 capital F, and hit enter. Alrighty, so now I can come back and I can cut out this section. So again, I'm going to select my cut polygon tool, come up here to this line, and you'll note the difference between the streams and that line is the streams has a long dash and then 3 to 4 short dashes and a long. That's my stream. If it's a solid line, it's curvy like that, that's my soil boundary. So again, I start on the outside of my selected polygon, left click to start my line, and then left click to add a bend. Come around. You may want to zoom in even closer to get a really clean, good looking line. I'm kind of being a little messy with this just for the sake of time for this video. And if you add a vertex, like I came out here and accidentally did that, oh, I don't want that one. You can hover over that vertex, right click, and say delete vertex. Or if you're starting to draw this line and you're just not liking the way it's turning out, you can right click, delete sketch. So then you can start again. Again, just keep left clicking to add vertexes. You want to take your time on it. This whole process will probably take you a few hours. So be prepared to block out a good chunk of time to come into the lab. And then again, finish outside the line. You can either double click or you can right click and say finish sketch. You can see how that divided up this section here. We have that new one that we created as well as that big one still. So I'm going to go back to my new one. This is 04C. So 04C, and then hit enter. And what you can do to kind of keep track of where you've been is now you can, remember to save often. Go up to your editor and click save. And then you can come to your soil panels, double click to get to the properties, go to categories, you want to add values. And the first one is going to basically be a null, so I'm going to say OK. So anything that doesn't have a value in it, I'm going to make that hollow, say OK, the color purple. But if it does have a value, I want to turn it maybe this blue or whatever color, maybe a tan or brown, say OK. So now I can see where I've been, kind of helps keep track of what I've already attributed and where I've been. You can clear your selection at any time. Like here we have a new soil section here. I can come and snip this one out. Now this is the outside, this part is now the outside of this big polygon, so I'd start here, snap in, and come up here, double click. And this one is 42D. Okay. Now say you have what we call an island polygon where it doesn't touch the edge of any of these. That's okay. I'm going to clear my selection, grab my edit tool and select the big polygon that it's part of. And I can still, I just got to make sure I cross my line. I can start out here, come through here, digitize the sky. But then I must make sure I cross that line. And I double click. And as you can see, I've got this polygon and now this one. So there's my big one, and there's my small one I just created. That one's 42C. So the lines must cross each other. When you start outside, like in this white area, that's when your polygon boundary line touches that edge. That's when you have to start out here, come around, and then finish out here. Clear my selection and hit Save Edits. When I'm done editing, I then hit Editor, Stop Editing. And that's how we create our soils layer, our streams layer, and then our roads layer. So you'll go through your whole map, digitize in all the information of those three types, roads, streams, and soils. And then when we meet back up, we're going to match everybody's together. And that's how we edit data and create data and then further edit it.